Welcome to today's video. In this episode, we're exploring the 6 most valuable and expensive United States dollar coins. From historic designs to rare varieties that stand out in the collecting world, these coins have captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. Stay tuned as we uncover their history, unique features, and the surprising values they can reach in today's market. First up, we explore one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American numismatic history, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark, even when discovered in very dirty or circulated condition. This coin may not be the first piece that comes to mind when we talk about rare and expensive U.S. currency, but its story, design, and enduring legacy have made it a key target for collectors. In this video, we'll break down its historical background, design features, rarity, collector demand, market value, and practical collecting tips, before wrapping up with why this coin continues to attract so much attention. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was first introduced in 1979, marking a significant shift in U.S. coinage. It was the first time in American history that a real woman, a social reformer and suffragist, was honored on circulating currency. The Philadelphia Mint was among the facilities that struck these coins, and while millions were produced, certain varieties and conditions stand apart from the rest. The coin reflects the era's experimentation with dollar coins as the government sought to replace paper notes with a smaller, more durable metallic version. Though the public reception was mixed and the coin struggled in circulation, its symbolic significance and certain rare issues have made it a highly collectible piece. The obverse of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar showcases a bold portrait of Susan B. Anthony herself, designed by Frank Gasparo. Her image is encircled by 13 stars, representing the original colonies, along with the word Liberty and the year of issue, 1979. The mint mark, P, appears near the date, denoting its origin from the Philadelphia Mint. On the reverse, the coin features the iconic Apollo 11 mission insignia, a bald eagle landing on the moon with an olive branch in its talons, a design originally used for the Eisenhower dollar. This combination of symbolic imagery ties together American history, space exploration, and the fight for women's rights in one compact and powerful design. Even in dirty or circulated condition, these design elements stand out as defining features. In terms of rarity, not all 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are equal. While the Philadelphia Mint produced a very large number of coins, varieties such as the wide rim or near-date version of this issue have become particularly scarce and highly sought after. Many of these coins in circulation were heavily used, leaving relatively few in pristine condition today. Finding a 1979 P Susan B. Anthony dollar with strong details, minimal wear, and the more desirable varieties is no small task, especially when so many are discovered in heavily worn or dirty states. This survival factor greatly contributes to the coin's value in the modern collecting market. Collector demand for the 1979 P Susan B. Anthony dollar is steady and fueled by several factors. It was the inaugural year of the series, giving it historic importance. It also represents a turning point in U.S. coinage by featuring a female figure of national prominence. For specialists in modern U.S. coinage, owning a quality example of this coin is almost a requirement, and those who focus on varieties will go to great lengths to acquire a strong specimen of the wide rim type. Unlike other coin series, where earlier dates dominate, the Susan B. Anthony dollar stands out in its entirety for symbolic and historical reasons, and the 1979 Philadelphia issue is at the very center of that story. When it comes to current market value, the differences between condition and variety matter greatly. A circulated or dirty example of the standard 1979 P coin might only bring in $1 to $5 depending on condition. However, the wide rim or near-date variety, especially in higher grades, can fetch far more. In extremely fine to uncirculated condition, values can range from $50 to well over $100. At the highest grading levels certified by P Sacagawea or NGC, prices can climb into several $100s. The appeal lies not only in the coin's historic role, but also in the challenge of finding pristine examples in a sea of worn, circulated pieces. For collectors looking to acquire one of these coins, paying close attention to condition, grading and luster is essential. Even when found in dirty or worn states, it is worth checking for the wide rim detail, which appears closer to the date than the standard issue. Submitting coins to reputable grading services can also increase their value and protect them for long-term investment. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark remains one of the most intriguing and valuable modern U.S. coins, even in dirty or circulated condition. Its combination of historical importance, distinctive design, and collectible varieties makes it a must-have for any serious numismatist. While it may not be the rarest coin in American history, it represents a pivotal chapter in the nation's coinage and continues to generate interest among both new and seasoned collectors. Stay tuned, because in our next video we'll be exploring another remarkable coin that has captured the attention of collectors worldwide, and you won't want to miss what we have coming next. And secondly, we are diving deep into one of the most misunderstood and fascinating modern coins the United States Mint has ever produced, the rare 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with the San Francisco S mint mark. This specific mint is a genuine sleeper hit in the numismatic world, a rare and valuable key date hiding in plain sight, and its story is absolutely incredible. First, let's talk about why this particular coin is so collectible. The Susan B. Anthony dollar itself was a massive failure in circulation. The public hated it, constantly confusing its size and reeded edge with the Washington quarter. But for collectors, failure often breeds rarity and value. The 1979 S is the undisputed key date of the entire series. Its collectability stems from two critical factors: its extremely low mintage and its purpose. Unlike the Philadelphia and Denver mint issues from 1979, which were struck for general circulation by the hundreds of millions, the San Francisco Mint only produced proof coins that year, intended solely for collector sets. They were never meant to see the inside of a cash register, making any example found outside of its original packaging an instant curiosity and a potential treasure. To understand the context, we have to go back to 1979. The U.S. Mint was in a precarious position. They had invested heavily in the new small dollar coin, hoping it would replace the paper dollar and save the government money. But the public's immediate rejection was a disaster. Amidst this chaos, the San Francisco Mint had a very specific, limited role to produce high-quality proof coins for collectors. The total mintage for the 1979 S was just over 3.6 million coins, a pittance compared to the other mints. And every single one was supposed to be a brilliant, mirror-like proof, carefully packaged and sold directly to the public. The idea of one of these special coins entering circulation, getting jostled in pockets and registers, and becoming heavily worn and dirty was virtually unthinkable. That's what makes it so special. Now, let's get into the design details that make this coin unique, even under all that grime. The obverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, features a right-facing portrait of the famous suffragist Susan B. Anthony. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real, non-allegorical woman. Even on a dirty coin, you should be able to make out the intricate details of her hair, tied back in a bun, and the words Liberty above and the date 1979 below. The reverse is where you'll find the mint mark. It features an adaptation of the Apollo 11 mission insignia, a bald eagle landing on the moon, symbolizing American achievement. The mint mark S is located just to the left of the eagle's tail feathers. On a proof coin, this S would be sharply defined, but on a worn, dirty circulation find, it might be filled with grime, but its presence confirms you've found the key. This brings us to the heart of the matter: its sheer rarity and survival rate. Remember, the 1979 S was not a circulation strike. It was a proof. So how did any end up in this very dirty condition? The most likely scenario is that a coin from a proof set was spent as regular money, either by accident by someone who didn't know its value, or by a child raiding a parent's collection. Once it entered the wild, it was subjected to the same abuse as any other coin. The survival rate for these coins in gem-proof condition is known, but the survival rate for ones that have been brutally circulated is arguably even lower. Think about it. Most people who spent it didn't know, and most people who received it didn't care. It was just another unwanted dollar coin, likely passed over and spent again. That it survived being melted, lost, or simply thrown in a jar for decades is a minor miracle. Finding one this worn is like finding a ghost. Because of this incredible story, collector demand for this coin, in any condition, is exceptionally high. Within the Susan B. Anthony Dollar series, the 1979 S is the crown jewel. It stands in the same relation to this series as the 1909 SVDB does to the Lincoln Cent series, or the 1916 D does to the Mercury Dime series. It is the key date that every single set collector absolutely must have to complete their album. And while everyone wants a pristine proof, the market for a heavily circulated, problem coin like a dirty one is uniquely fierce. It represents a fascinating narrative piece, a coin with a story etched into every scratch and bit of dirt. It appeals not just to series completists, but also to error and variety collectors who specialize in these impossible finds. So, what is this dirty treasure worth in today's market? Let's talk hard numbers. A perfect, graded PR, 70 deep cameo proof can easily fetch over $2,000. But we're talking about a very dirty, circulated coin. Its value is not in its state of preservation, but in its mere existence. Even in a grade we might call good or very good, with heavy wear, dark toning, and surface dirt, this coin is still a major numismatic asset. For a worn, dirty, but identifiable 1979 S dollar, you are looking at a current market value ranging from a solid $3,000 to well over $5,000, depending on just how much detail remains beneath the grime. If it's merely dirty but still has sharp details, imagine it was carried as a pocket piece but not spent often. It could trend toward the higher end of that range. You won't find it in a bankroll. Those were all from Philadelphia or Denver. You need to be looking in the oldest, most forgotten collections. The 1979 S. Susan B. Anthony Dollar in very dirty condition is far more than just a worn-out coin. It is a tangible piece of minting history, an error of circumstance, and one of the greatest modern rarities. It represents a perfect storm of public rejection, limited production, and accidental release into circulation. Its appeal crosses from the new collector intrigued by the hunt to the seasoned veteran who appreciates its monumental role in completing a series. It's a reminder that true numismatic value isn't always about shiny perfection. Sometimes, it's about the incredible story told by the most humble and worn-looking pieces. Never, ever underestimate what you might find. And thirdly, we're talking about the most valuable, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark, stands as a numismatic treasure that defies initial expectations, captivating collectors not for its pristine beauty, but for its profound scarcity and the compelling story it tells. In the year 2025, its allure has only intensified, transforming what was once a common pocket piece into a highly sought-after prize. The fascination lies in the stark contrast between its humble, often very worn appearance and its significant market value, a paradox that enthralls both novice and seasoned enthusiasts. This coin's appeal is rooted in a perfect storm of low survival rates, specific minting anomalies, and a growing historical perspective that frames it as a key artifact from the dawn of a new millennium. Its growing market demand is fueled by the realization that finding one, especially with certain distinctive features, is a genuine challenge, making each discovery a potential windfall and a tangible piece of early 21st century minting history. The historical backdrop of this coin's production is crucial to understanding its rarity. Introduced in 2000, the Sacagawea dollar was a bold initiative by the United States Mint to replace the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar and to promote cash transactions in an increasingly digital and card-based economy. The choice of Sacagawea, the Shoshone guide of the Lewis and Clark expedition, was a significant cultural moment, marking the first time a Native American was portrayed on regular-issue U.S. currency. The Philadelphia Mint, tasked with a substantial portion of the initial production, operated under immense pressure to distribute hundreds of millions of coins into circulation swiftly. This urgency, combined with the challenges of striking a golden-colored manganese brass planchet, led to inconsistencies and a focus on quantity over pristine quality. The coins were released into a public largely indifferent to their existence, leading to widespread handling, loss, and destruction, a fate that ironically now underpins the scarcity of any well-preserved or specific error examples from this first year. The coin's unique features begin with its distinctive golden hue, derived from a composition of 77% copper, 12% zinc, 7% manganese, and 4% nickel. It retains the standard dollar dimensions of 26.5 millimeters in diameter and a reeded edge. The obverse, designed by Glenna Goodacker, features a three-quarter portrait of Sacagawea with her infant son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, on her back. The portrait is rich in detail, from the intricate beads of her dress to the strands of her hair. The reverse, by Thomas D. Rogers Sr., depicts a soaring eagle in flight, a symbol of freedom and strength. For a coin to stand out, the sharpness of the strike is paramount. On high-quality specimens, every feather on the eagle's wings and the detailed lines of the talons should be fully defined, a trait collectors seek as full-tail feathers. However, due to the softness of the alloy and the high-speed press strikes, many coins, particularly from Philadelphia, emerged with weak strikes, especially on the eagle's tail feathers and the finer details of Sacagawea's hand and hair, making a sharply struck example a notable find. The extreme rarity of the 2000 P dollar in any condition worth collecting is driven by several factors beyond its original 767 million mintage figure, a number that is profoundly misleading. The vast majority of these coins were released into circulation and subjected to intense commercial use, where their golden color easily showed dirt and wear. Furthermore, a significant portion was stored in government vaults and later melted due to a lack of public demand. This decimated the population of coins that could have been saved in uncirculated condition. For the Philadelphia issue specifically, the hunt focuses on two primary varieties: the famed Cheerios dollar, which was a special strike included in cereal boxes with enhanced tail feathers detail, and the Wounded Eagle error, where a die gouge makes it appear the eagle has a bleeding wing. While these command high premiums, even a standard 2000 P business strike is exceptionally scarce in mint state grades. A very dirty, circulated coin, therefore, is the norm, not the exception. Its value in such a condition is almost entirely dependent on it being a previously unknown error or a variety that is identifiable despite the grime, as its numismatic worth has now surpassed its face value by a considerable margin. Market value for the standard 2000 P Sacagawea dollar is almost entirely grade-dependent due to the extreme scarcity of high-grade examples. A heavily worn, very dirty circulated coin might only be worth its $1 face value to the uninformed, but a collector recognizing it as a first-year Philadelphia issue might pay a small premium of $2 to $5 simply for its date and mint mark survival. However, the market shifts dramatically for certified examples. An MS-60 graded coin can fetch $20 to $30, while specimens grading MS-65 have seen prices rise to the $100 to $150 range. In the highest grades of MS-67 and above, the coin becomes a genuine rarity, with auction prices consistently reaching $1,500 to over $3,000. The Cheerios variety, identifiable by its enhanced tail feathers and specific reverse die, commands prices from $5,000 to over $25,000 in high grades. The Wounded Eagle error, identifiable even on a dirty coin by a distinct line on the eagle's wing, can be valued from several hundred to several $1,000s depending on the severity of the error and the coin's overall state. For collectors seeking this elusive coin, a meticulous and educated approach is essential. The first step is to carefully examine every 2000 P dollar encountered, focusing on the reverse eagle's tail feathers. Use a magnifying glass to look for the extra lines that denote the Cheerios variety and to inspect the wing for the die gouge of the Wounded Eagle. Even a dirty coin can reveal these anomalies under close scrutiny. The 2000 P Sacagawea dollar embodies a unique chapter in American numismatics, a coin whose very commonness in circulation belies its extraordinary rarity in collectible condition. Its enduring appeal is a blend of its significant historical role as a millennial issue, its culturally important design honoring a pivotal historical figure, and the intriguing minting challenges that created its sought-after varieties. For the seasoned numismatist, It offers a challenging pursuit and a potentially valuable asset with strong prospects for future appreciation as high-grade populations remain static and collector awareness grows. This coin encourages enthusiasts to look closer, to see past the dirt and wear, and to appreciate the complex narrative of production, distribution, and survival that defines its true numismatic legacy. And fourthly, we're uncovering the story, the details, and the true market value behind the most valuable and expensive 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar struck at the Denver Mint, even when found in very dirty or heavily circulated condition. This coin may not immediately catch the eye compared to the more glamorous silver issues of earlier decades, but it holds a special place in U.S. numismatic history and has become a collector's prize in ways that many beginners might overlook. The year 1979 was groundbreaking in U.S. coinage. It marked the introduction of the Susan B. Anthony dollar, the very first U.S. circulating coin to feature a real historical woman rather than a symbolic figure. The Denver Mint produced millions of these dollars, yet their reception was mixed. At the time, Americans were accustomed to the larger Eisenhower dollars, and the smaller-sized Anthony dollar was often confused with the quarter in everyday transactions. Despite its lukewarm debut, the 1979 D became an important coin because it represents the starting point of a short-lived series that spanned just a few years. As history has shown, coins that emerge from shorter runs often become fascinating study pieces for collectors. Looking closely at its design, the 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollar carries details that set it apart. On the obverse, we see a sharp profile of Susan B. Anthony, the legendary suffragist who fought tirelessly for women's rights. Around her portrait are 11 stars, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." The reverse showcases the eagle landing on the moon clutching an olive branch, an adaptation of the Apollo 11 insignia, symbolizing peace and progress. While the coin itself is clad in copper nickel and not precious metal, the artistry and symbolism capture a powerful era of change in the United States. The Denver Mint mark, positioned near Anthony's shoulder, is a subtle but essential identifier for collectors hunting for the rarest varieties. When we talk about rarity, it's important to look beyond sheer mintage numbers. While the Denver Mint struck over 288 million Susan B. Anthony dollars in 1979, the survival of high-quality examples tells a very different story. Coins that circulated heavily often ended up scratched, dirty, and dulled, making pristine versions increasingly difficult to find today. Interestingly, even coins that appear very dirty or heavily worn can hold collector interest if they fall into certain die varieties or if they demonstrate exceptional strike characteristics. The reality is that the 1979 D is common in general circulation, but true gems or unusual survivors are what elevate it into the ranks of desirable rarities. Collectors continue to gravitate toward this dollar because it represents a bridge between tradition and modernity. Unlike the silver dollars that preceded it, the Anthony dollar was designed for practical use in vending machines and daily commerce. While it never truly caught on with the public, the coin's historical role and its distinct design make it stand out in the broader U.S. dollar series. Within the Susan B. Anthony line, the Denver issues carry their own following, especially when found in unusual states of preservation or with certain die errors. For collectors, the 1979 D is not just a coin but a snapshot of a pivotal moment in numismatic and cultural history. Now let's break down the numbers. In today's market, most circulated 1979 D Susan B. Anthony dollars are worth only their face value, or perhaps $1 or $2 when sold in bulk. However, condition changes everything. A lightly circulated or well-preserved piece can bring between $500 and $1,500, while coins graded in mint state 65 or higher can range from $3,000 up to $4,000 depending on eye appeal. The real surprises come with exceptionally high-grade examples or rare varieties. Some specimens graded MS67 or above have commanded prices of $8,000 or more at auction, making them some of the most expensive of the entire series. This stark divide between everyday coins and top-tier rarities is exactly what fuels excitement among collectors. For those who want to search for a valuable 1979 D, there are several practical tips. Condition is paramount, so focus on coins with clean surfaces, minimal contact marks, and strong luster. Pay attention to the clarity of the strike, as well-struck examples are always more desirable. Grading is crucial, so becoming familiar with professional standards can give you an edge. Even dirty or circulated coins can be worth keeping if you suspect they belong to a high-grade line once cleaned and certified. Searching through old rolls, inherited collections, or bulk dollar coin lots is often the most effective way to uncover hidden treasures. When all is said and done, the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar may not be a silver or gold issue, but its significance is undeniable. It embodies a turning point in American coinage, honors a trailblazing historical figure, and offers a wide range of values depending on rarity and condition. For new collectors, it provides an accessible entry point into the world of numismatics, while seasoned collectors recognize its place as a cornerstone of the late 20th century dollar series. Whether dirty, worn, or shining in mint state, this coin tells a story of ambition, transition, and the ever-changing relationship between money and culture in America. Beyond its surface details and market value, the 1979 D. Susan B. Anthony dollar holds a symbolic weight that adds to its long-term appeal. It was the first time in U.S. history that a woman's portrait appeared on a circulating coin, breaking away from the classical allegorical depictions that had dominated for centuries. For collectors, this makes the dollar more than just a piece of currency. It becomes a cultural artifact tied to the broader movement for equality and recognition of women's contributions to society. Even coins found in very dirty, circulated conditions still carry this historic significance, reminding us that numismatics is not only about rarity or price, but also about the stories embedded within each coin. The Denver Mint's role in producing such a high volume only enhances the fascination, as sifting through these dollars for standout examples is like uncovering small fragments of history hiding in plain sight. And as we close the chapter on this fascinating dollar, stay tuned, because in our next video we'll explore another remarkable coin that has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. You won't want to miss the history, the details, and the surprising value behind the next coin in our series. And at the end, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins in American history, the rare and highly collectible 2009 Sacagawea dollar without a mint mark. Even when found in very dirty or heavily circulated condition, this coin has gained attention from collectors and investors alike for its unique background, stunning design, and the market value it continues to command. If you've ever come across a dull-looking golden dollar that seems ordinary at first glance, you may want to take a second look, because the 2009 Sacagawea dollar holds secrets that make it far from common pocket change. To understand the importance of the 2009 issue, it's essential to place this coin in its proper historical and minting context. The Sacagawea dollar was first introduced in 2000 as a replacement for the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar. While the earlier issues struggled to gain widespread circulation, the Sacagawea dollar was designed with a fresh, golden appearance and a strong connection to Native American history. By 2009, the United States Mint shifted its approach and began releasing coins under the Native American $1 coin program, with new reverse designs each year celebrating contributions of Native Americans to U.S. history. This makes the 2009 issue the very first of this new series, giving it a milestone status that adds significantly to its collectible appeal. On the obverse, the 2009 Sacagawea dollar features the classic portrait of Sacagawea, designed by Glenna Goodacre, depicting her carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, on her back. This powerful image of maternal strength and resilience became iconic in modern U.S. coinage. The reverse, however, is where the 2009 edition truly stands apart. The design by Norman E. Namath showcases a Native American woman planting seeds in a field of corn, beans, and squash, symbolizing the Three Sisters method of agriculture. This agricultural theme, deeply rooted in Native culture, marks a significant shift from the static eagle design of earlier years and signals the beginning of an evolving, story-driven coin series. What makes the 2009 Sacagawea dollar without a mint mark so intriguing is its rarity, especially in certain conditions. Most circulation strikes from Philadelphia would carry no mint mark, but very few survived in collectible condition due to the coin's limited acceptance in commerce and heavy use in circulation. When found in very dirty condition today, these coins often reveal their journey through years of handling and storage. While many collectors chase pristine, mint state examples, some enthusiasts are equally fascinated by well-worn survivors, as they tell the story of actual use, adding another layer of history to their value. Demand for the 2009 issue has been steady and growing, largely because of its significance as the first release in the Native American series. It stands out not only in the Sacagawea dollar program, but also among all modern U.S. commemorative-style issues. Collectors often prioritize it as a starting point for building full sets of Native American dollar coins, making it a cornerstone piece. While the Sacagawea dollar series never reached the mass popularity of earlier silver or copper issues, the 2009 edition manages to stand out due to its cultural symbolism and its role as the foundation of a modern numismatic program. When it comes to market value, the 2009 Sacagawea dollar without a mint mark can command surprising prices depending on condition. In heavily circulated and very dirty condition, examples may trade for a modest premium, often in the $3 to $10 range. However, as the condition improves, values rise sharply. Uncirculated coins graded MS65 can sell for $25 to $40, while higher-graded examples in MS67 have reached values between $100 and $200. The real prizes are coins in MS68 or above, which can command several $100s due to their rarity and high demand. These figures demonstrate that even modern dollar coins, often overlooked by the public, can hold impressive investment potential. For collectors seeking this coin, a few practical tips can help maximize success. First, pay close attention to condition and luster, as even slight differences can have a large impact on grading and value. Dirty coins may often be overlooked in circulation, but resist the urge to clean them, as cleaning can reduce collectible value significantly. Instead, consider professional grading for coins that appear to have strong detail under the dirt. Coin rolls from banks, estate sales, or coin shops are good sources to find these dollars, and building a set that starts with the 2009 issue is a rewarding way to track the evolution of the Native American series. Beyond its numismatic value, the 2009 Sacagawea dollar without a mint mark also reflects a broader cultural shift in U.S. coinage, where symbolism and storytelling began to play a central role. Unlike earlier commemoratives that often highlighted political figures or national emblems, this coin honors the agricultural practices and traditions that sustained Native American communities for centuries. In this way, the 2009 issue bridges the gap between history and modern collecting, reminding us that coins are not just units of currency, but also miniature records of heritage and identity. For many collectors, owning this piece is not only about rarity and price, but also about holding a tangible link to America's deeper cultural narrative. The 2009 Sacagawea dollar without a mint mark is more than just a modern dollar coin. It's a cultural artifact, a milestone in U.S. coinage, and a valuable piece for collectors. Whether discovered in dirty, circulated condition or preserved in mint state, this coin continues to capture the attention of numismatists for its rarity, design, and role in American history. It serves as a reminder that even contemporary coins can rise to prominence when backed by historical context and collector demand. And if you found this exploration of the 2009 Sacagawea dollar fascinating, be sure to stay tuned for our next deep dive into another remarkable United States coin that has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. You won't want to miss what comes next.